Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our next Spy Family Review, episode 4.
The interview!
Yes! Hopefully you got to see it by now. If you haven't, it's available exclusively on Crunchyroll. They have episodes 1 through 4 subbed and episodes 1 through 3 dubbed.
Yes, and so you know the dubs are at least 1 week behind the Japanese release. So
That's correct.
You might end up waiting just an extra time for the next episode.
And we welcome our new Spy Family convert, Sylveon 14!
Yes, of course! And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click notification bell to updates on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Absolutely. And we've read up to this point with the manga. We've read pretty far. We're on number 7.
Volume 7, yes.
But yes, we have seen this and it was so great to see it animated. They added a little extra in and made it even more fun.
Yes. So for here, it's time for the school interview. And this is already funny reading it in the manga, but now seeing it come to life is even much better. Basically, they've already, I guess, bonded enough to be convinced that they're a family and that they should be enlisted into the school. And the problem is that they start judging people like the second they start walking in. So they don't waste time. Like they know who to send out before they even walk through the door. and they have to do a bunch of these, pass these tests they have. And you're not supposed to know if they're a test or not.
But of course, Lloyd, aka Twilight, knows, and this is the moment they've been preparing for. So
right.
He finally gets to see it come to fruition. He's still a little nervous, but he seems to have a little more faith than he did last episode.
Right. And it's just supposed to be originally answering the questions in an interview, but they get to that last. First, they have to actually look presentable before they go through the door, how they act in different situations.
Be prepared for every contingency.
Right. And must have elegance! And the whole time they have the headmaster there, and of course the fortress catches attention, and the whole time he's just seeing how elegant can they be, because they have the most weird things happening. Like every time that something happens to the outfits, they already have another change of clothes on hand.
And it starts off kind of mild. The kid gets himself stuck in a grate with some mud in it.
Right.
That was the first challenge.
Right.
Then next is some runaway animals with a big moo cow.
Right. Right. And they said that wasn't part of it. And then they get to actually inside. Then like the second part will be the interview itself. And that one, even without the action in it, it was still hilarious because Anya remembered most of what she was supposed to say.
Yes.
And then
of course, what she couldn't, she read his mind. And
right.
We've tried to.
I want to see the event of the organization. What in the world are you talking about?
And you would think, I was thinking this is so funny, that Twilight is a master spy. You would think he would have figured out by now when she says exactly what's on his mind that she must be telepathic, but he hasn't figured it out yet.
Right.
So some great standouts for this episode 1. Yor, of course, going into action, doing like on Avatar with what's
the
her
cheap
name?
blocking, yeah.
With
Ty Lee.
Yes, the cheap blocking on the cow to slow it down.
Right.
And of course, Lloyd is like,
and then there's a point in the interview where they have this one guy who's sort of taking out displaced aggression on the people being interviewed because of what's happening with his life and his family. So he doesn't like seeing happy families. So
he said he didn't like seeing a beautiful family. This is a beautiful woman and a
that?
man. He was pissed. He's like, I'm gonna see you go down.
What?
And of course, Anya is
And she's
hearing
like,
this.
shock! Like, shock! What is this? And there's a point where he just starts being way more cruel, blunt, unprofessional, and the other two guys that are there, the headmaster and the other guy, are like, what are you doing? This is not what you're supposed to be doing. And it comes to a point where this guy just almost gets the crap knocked out of him because he just, like, these people just had enough of him.
And Lloyd stands up for his family because they really get cruel with Anya and with Yor. And he crushes a table. And the thing that stood out most about that was one, how sweet he was in caring how to hear his family. But the second was how hot he looked. No matter what he was doing, he looked hot doing it. They kept putting it on his eyes and everything. Like, they they know, they want you to say, hey, doesn't he look good doing this?
Right.
Yes, he did.
Oh, what's funny is that someone said, this looks familiar, and he looks like Itadori when he's doing his power punch.
And I told you, I said, when they showed his, a background picture, which we did not see in the manga, but they showed him younger, and I said, he looks like Itadori. He's like from JJK.
Yes.
And then right after that, it was like, oh, you were right.
Right. So, by the end, if you haven't read the manga, you're not sure if they made it into the school or not, because they kind of left after that, and they think, you know, this is it, they're not going to get in, and the headmaster wasn't even approving of the way the guy was treating them.
Right.
So you won't know until episode 5 if they got into the school or not.
And we shan't spoil it for you. It won't be as much fun if we tell you what's going to happen, telling you after, and what we read in the manga is one thing, but not telling you. We're not going to tell you what's going to happen. We'll let you enjoy it.
Right.
And another thing that stood out was Anya and how she went and put her hand on the cow. And she says, oh, cow, are you afraid? Don't be afraid. It's going to be okay. And again, you would think by now Twilight, the master spy, would have figured out something that's going on.
Not too much of a...
Right. She's talking to the animals are understanding her, and the cow walks back calmly, and you're with the she blocking and everything. So he's a master spy, but he's not a master dad spy because he's not figuring these simple things out.
Oblivious to some of these things. It's like it's always some weird explanation to doing it. It's almost, to me, it's almost as bad as with Inuyasha, and there was so many days Kagome missed school and she never got in trouble because every day she has some sort of illness or disease or something, and they will believe it and send her things. And when she came to school, it's like, wow, you must recover from the Lyme disease in a day.
But this is such a fun, wonderful anime, and if you haven't seen it, again, check it out on Crunchyroll. If you haven't read the manga, it's available on Amazon to buy, and you probably can get it from your local bookstore, like Barnes & Noble, or maybe your local library.
Yeah.
So check it out.
Right, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more updates and weekly videos on your favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
And last, if you have seen it, let us know what you think in the comments below. Are you enjoying it as much as we are? Have you gotten a chance to check it out? If you haven't, and if so, what do you think so far of this amazing series?
Right. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rask Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace. Daddy is such a cool liar.